Well, good evening, everyone. Thank you all for being here. It's me, Ari Dotsit, or you can just call me Rashid, back with another live. And in this live stream, I want to talk about the blue pill coonery that goes on in our human species. And I'm explaining the blue pill, red pill to you, what it really means. I'll explain what the red pill and blue pill means to a lot of people today, culturally. You'd like to hear about the red pill movement already, or the MGTOW movements. I spoke about them before. So, one moment before I continue with all of this, can you please confirm onto me where you can hear me clearly? It's quite important. And I can see the live chat right over here on my tablet. Let me just increase the. Hold on. Yes, finally I can see it better now. Okay, I can see Tammy's here. Uh, East Coast is here. Diane is here. Christopher is here. Can the rest is here also let me know you're here, please? Thank you very much. It's very much appreciated. So I have my whiteboard diagonally throughout the kitchen now, so it's easy for me to just turn the camera around and just focus on over there. Joanna, say hi, Joanna. Devin says not so clear. Please tell me either start your app or your browser, please. Thank you very much. Okay. So Joanna hears me clearly. Diane hears me clearly. Does the rest hear me clearly? Let me know. Just ask for half a minute more. Can you all hear me clearly? Let me know. I'm not going to speak that loud because it's night time over here. My voice is loud enough. Okay. On average, Joe is here too. I'm glad that you're here on average, Joe. All right. I got enough feedback already, so let's begin. About sex magic. Because that's the order when we talk about what is sex magic. Sex magic is a political method to regulate the behavior of a population. All right. Let me write it down for you. You can take notes too. Sex magic is a political method to regulate public behavior. Okay? And it's focused on the men. That's the main focus of it. All right? So that is sex magic. Now, sex magic can be done in two ways. In a calming way, that's calming sex magic, or called blue sex magic, or in enticing ways. That's enticing sex magic. Now, calming sex magic is focused on calming down the public. In this case, the men in the public are agitated due to trauma, and you want to calm them down. So you use color codes and music to calm the men down sexually. In enticing sex magic, it's the opposite. You want to stir up the male population so they contribute more. This happened with the Spanish Empire in the late 18th century under Carlos III, the king of the Spanish, the head of the Spanish Empire. He wanted to motivate the Spanish population all over the empire, and the Spanish Empire ran the world's economy back then. So he had to entice the men to participate in the Spanish nation. So he came up with a flag. It was actually an artist that came up with this flag of red, yellow, red, with the symbol of Castile and Leon in it. And this became the red symbol of Spain, which Spain has till this day. So red sex magic was used by the Spanish Empire, still is the common thing in Spain today. Japan used it. Japan is also red. China is red. Also, take a look at the flag of China. Blue sex magic is something that became the norm in, let's say, the Western world in general after the Second World War, just to calm down the public. So the EU as a union is participating in that. Britain also has a bluish attitude. Argentina has its independence, you name it. So Understand, sex magic isn't just about physical intercourse, it's a political method to regulate public behavior. And it's focused on the men. All right? Now, what's a pill? A pill is something you take to relieve yourself from stress. Similar way you take a pill to relieve yourself from stress or symptoms, that's the same purpose sex magic serves. Sex magic is there to relieve the public of anxiety. So it's public anxiety relief. That's what you want to maintain in the public. But you can't only do a calming effect, because if you only calm down the public, you're going to have a lot of effeminate men walking around. That's going to destroy the community. And effeminate men tend to be quite violent. If you entice a lot of the men, you entice them too much, there's no outlet in the economy, now you have a problem too. So a lot of countries want this yin-yang adoption to sex magic. So, for example, you have, let me say, flag of the Netherlands, which is red, white, blue. So they combine the enticing sex magic with the calming sex magic. Actually, want to have a combination of two. You want to have a yin-yang version of it, which is understandable for the Dutch Empire, how it used to work. But I'm going into that right now. Now, both enticing sex magic and calming sex magic involve trauma. Here you generate trauma like a financial crisis just to stir up the men. Here you generate a trauma like a terrorist attack or whatever, just make sure the public is scared into not venture out too much. Okay? Now, one thing you don't understand, sex magic always has side effects. All right? Enticing sex magic tends to bring out a lot of frustration and a lot of competition in the men. They can lead to bitter rivalries between families. Calming sex magic tends to knock down the population and everyone gets lazy after a while. So both of them have their side effects because it's magic. All right, enough now. Who can hear me clearly and who doesn't? Hold on. If necessary, let me shift to so I asked in the beginning, who can hear me clearly and all of that? Can you hear me or not? Hold on, let me try on my. Can you hear me or not? Okay, now it's completely clear. So I'm leaving it on data. Okay, I'm not going to Wi-Fi anymore. Well, Tammy, that will be on your end then. Because let me check it one more time. Let me see. I'm not going to Wi-Fi anymore. Yeah, I checked it out. This works perfectly fine. Okay, so no more Wi-Fi for me. So you still could have heard everything I said, so I have to repeat it, and it's also written over here. A lot of countries want to have a combination of calming sex magic and enticing sex magic. Now, why is it important to understand? Because in general, in the world, the population tends to head towards this calming effect. This effect takes a lot of effort. So what I'm talking about here is that in mankind, when it comes down to it, a big portion of the male population, they cling onto this calming effect. Why is that? Because let me explain the following. Due to the fall of mankind, males in general, and let me see if I can move all the way here. Though the fall of Adam, males lack internal sexual motivation. There are some exceptions here and there, but this is a norm though the fall of men. Males lack internal sexual motivation. Now, Adam and Eve were built in such a way that Eve would sexually motivate Adam. But still, there must be some willingness for motivation in the man itself. Now, though the fall of men, this internal sexual motivation is either absent or is dormant. It's either absent or dormant. And this is a problem because this means there is lack of masculinity in the men. A lack of masculinity also leads to increasing anxiety in the female population. Why? Because if masculinity is not functioning well, femininity cannot function well either. So, when the lack of internal sexual motivation in men is a big plague, it's a big defect in the human species. All right? And this is a defect similar to the fact you have to brush your teeth. Why do you have to brush your teeth? Why? Because your body does not rejuvenate automatically like that anymore. So now you need to maintain your body. Why do you need to brush your teeth? Why do you wash yourself? Why do you need to do all of that? Because before the fall of man, your teeth would be cleansed naturally. But because that doesn't happen anymore, you need to brush it. So the fall of man brought some defects that we all have to deal with as long as we're in these bodies. There's one psychological effect that the male population has a lack of internal sexual motivation. Now, and that's why late in human history, beginning with ancient Egypt, they came up with sex magic in order to bypass this defect in human males. But this defect is not something we as human beings can solve. Only God can solve this. And God provided a way out through Christ for this to be rectified. But worldly people do not want to admit that as a species we are dysfunctional. They don't want to admit that because that's too confronting for themselves. And a lot of men in the world also do not want to admit this about themselves. Other men were kind of an exception of this, there are. But this is something that afflicts every man at all times. So if men lack internal sexual motivation, by the way, sexual motivation is not the same as horniness. Okay? If you're horny, you just have your biological, that's your biological tendencies. I don't talk about just being horny to have sex. Sexual motivation is about your behavior and your relationships in the community. So because fallen human males have this internal lack when it comes to sexual motivation, that's why human males tend to seek compensation by being controlling or by being reckless. Now, a lot of you ladies who are watching this have already experienced this. You're in a sexual relationship with a guy, and suddenly your phone rings, is one of your old male classmates, and when you hang up the phone, he's asking, "Who's that? Who's that? Who's the guy you're talking to? Who's this guy on WhatsApp? What's your phone ringing? You think, chill out, Dave, chill out. No. Why you talk to other men? Why you talk to other men? What is this? This toxic tendency to control the woman. It's a way to compensate this lack of internal sexual motivation. That's what it is. Another way for men to self-medicate this lack is by being reckless, being tough, rough, hyper macho, put themselves in danger a lot just to prove themselves. So these are the main ways human males tend to chase compensation. Now, say it like this. The reckless part is more reddish, and the controlling part is more bluish. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it's both as from compensation seeking. All right? Now, looking at the overview of this, and especially those who've been here since the beginning, looking at all of this, can this go well for long? What do you think? Let me know in the live chat. Just one question. Can this go well for long? Okay, I got one answer. What does the rest say? Okay. So this is bound to go wrong from time to time. And that's why, since the Greek Empire, you have this ritual called military warfare. Did I write that correctly? I don't care. Military warfare, which is a cycle of trauma inflicted on the population. If you don't use military warfare, you use recession. A recession or inflation, like what's on right now. So military warfare, okay, let me serve it over here. Military warfare, as well as in recession and inflation, those are methods used to regulate the balance between blue sex magic and red sex magic. All right? And here's one thing I want you to understand. This cycle can never go well for long. We know that. Okay, let me just move this to the back and show it a bit more. Okay. Now, is this all clear to you? Let me know, because I'm about to wipe out a lot of this and draw something else to show you what all this does to the male body and to the female body. And then we'll continue. But is this all clear to you now? Let me know. Okay, I'm still waiting for answers. Is this clear? All of this. Okay, one answer. I'm still waiting for a few more. Let me see over here. Okay. This live stream is focused on the men. Female compensation tends to be either holding around or being extra, how to say, at the or to be completely, how to say, resentful. Those are two ways. But I'm not about to address the females or address the men. Well, okay. All right. Does the rest understand it? I was about to wipe this out to show something else. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Let me remove this. Gotta move this too. Also the Dutch flag. I don't want to have that on my whiteboard. Yuck. Not for now. So okay. Let me. This is a man And I won't draw very nice because it's not necessary. It's a guy. Let's call him Joe. Okay. This is his energy field. Okay. And I'm going to put Joe one more time. Okay, this is Joe. But here is when there is, here's the natural state. Here's state under financial stress. All right? And remember, the soul is where the energy field originates. The soul's in the chest. So this is the soul. Okay? And this here is the life source of the man. This is his life source. It goes through his energy field, through his body, and all of that. It is life source that also gives off radiation to the outside. This life source is the sex drive of the man, or just call it the life source if you want. All right? In a natural state, the sex drive is vibrant, going throughout the energy fields. The man is motivated. On a financial stress, this happens. See what happens? It becomes quite dense and heavy, and the emissions are almost pathetically low. Now, I want you to look at both of these situations over here. Okay? This is a guy in a natural state, how he should function. From the soul, you have this fire emitting its energy fields, giving shocks to the environment. On a financial stress, the sex drive decreases, it becomes heavy, toxic, it becomes like a tumor around his body, and it weighs him down, and he barely has any masculinity emitting out of it. This is what financial stress does to a male. You see that? So any policy in society or any decision made in the world that can lead directly or indirectly to financial stress on the male population is a sexual assault on the male population. Simple as that. Simple as that. Let's go to, can I put the female over here? Okay, let me put the female over here. Just bear with me very quickly. I'm just making a quick drawing over here. Okay. She wears a nice dress. Let's call her Julia. Just a common name, Julia. These are in a healthy state. And she feels like a grape, of course. Here's Julia one more time. And again, financial stress. Okay, this is natural. This is financial stress. Okay? Now, women have no drive. They have urges. Okay? So again, this is the soul in the chest. Oh, wait. This drawing is a bit off. My bad. So maybe some cute short arms over here. That's feminine. My bad. Okay? These are, okay, let me say this. You have the soul over there, and these are the feminine urges, like a wave in energy fields. Women are not like a sun giving off fire, they're giving waves off them. A woman with her natural urges working, with her feminine urges, she's giving off waves of calm around her. as it should be. You even feel it around her. A woman under financial stress, all right, that's her condition. Now, look at this. I want you to see this clearly. If you had to choose between this guy or this guy, which one would you choose? Let me know. Left or right? Let me know in the live chat right now. Would you choose the Joe on the left or the Joe on the right? Let me know in the live chat right now. For all of you, would you prefer to be around this guy over here on the left or this guy on the right? Let me know right now. Okay, I want a few more answers. Okay. Obviously, you go for the left guy. Now I want to ask the men. I only want the guys here to answer. Would you want to be sexually involved with this version, with this type of woman? Would you want to be sexually involved with a woman like this? Let me know in the live chat. Only for the guys. I know there are a few guys in the live chat. Let me know. Would you want to be sexually involved with a woman like this? Let me know. I'll just wait for half a minute more. All right. Come on, guys. There's some of you are here. I know it. Let me know. Would you want to do a woman in condition like this? Let me know. I'm glad with your answers, brothers. You shouldn't. Unfortunately, a lot of women, especially in the West, are like this. Completely fractured down. The urges are completely all over the place. They don't work. They don't function properly. So understand this. Financial stress is a method to break down your well functioning as a human being. As a woman, your urges are messed up. But as a man, you're completely wasted. It has a worse effect on men than it has on women. So, why would society do this to you? It's simple. A guy like this doesn't have much to offer. A woman like this is a headache to be around. But here's the issue. It's easier to control them and exploit them if they're in this state. If they're in this state, it's going to be very hard to violate them. So listen, that's why we're told to have to be content. Being content does not mean we're okay with every situation in life. We're told in the book of Hebrews to be content with what we have, because God says, I will never leave you and forsake you. The Bible does not say be happy with every financial situation you're in. It just said be content because the Heavenly Father has sworn He will never leave you nor forsake you. So because we operate in contentness, our condition should be like this and this all the time. Unfortunately, many believers were like this and this, and that's an embarrassment. All right? So this means that when it comes to human behavior, any man who's okay being like this is someone that you need to watch out for. Any woman not want to face that she's like this is also someone you need to avoid. We already addressed women like this already in another life of mine. I was quite direct. I was quite fierce in that live stream. It's called sexual durability. Okay, I scared a lot of people with that live stream. I figured out later. Well, this live stream I'm addressing the men because just like you have wasteful women, you also have wasteful men. Now, if this happens to you, due to financial stress, and you're broken down, and it's not of your fault, it's something society did to you that's different. But what if you're dealing with men who think it's a virtue to be like this? Now, I know what you're saying, Rashid, that doesn't exist. Which man in his right mind wants to be like this? Well, I want you to see the disappointment on my face. Unfortunately, a lot of dudes are completely fine being abused and to be like this. And that is quite disturbing, to say the least. It's extremely disturbing. So, I want to explain the following about God's design of masculinity. We as men, we are calculators, and our bodies are like supercomputers. Rashid, what do you mean men are like calculators? Listen, we are like calculators. We're analytical calculators, what men are. Yes, we have emotions. We can be emotional, all that. We're human. But God's design is we as men were calculators. Especially when it comes to the opposite sex, we are calculating. Okay? Understand the following. A man is built for consistency. Okay, let me write it down because let me put this over here. No, let me use the other marker over here. The human male with his energy field, which is quite big because he's a man, will build for consistency. Okay? We're built for consistency. With our energy field, with our emissions, all of that. The human male is built for consistency. Simple as that. Hold on. Let me bring this a little bit closer. All right. So understand the following. If consistency in environment lacks, the body plus mind will fault. Again. All right, understand this about male nature of males. When we're in a situation where there is no consistency concerning our safety and our well-being, our mind and our body will revolt. And we can't help if something happens automatically. So understand this. As a man, you can endure a situation that's inconsistent with your long-term well-being. You can endure it and survive. But when you survive, you have a lot of damage you need to process. So if you can avoid a situation that's inconsistent towards you, avoid it. Never confront a situation God provides you a way out of. Never do that. So, why am I talking about this? Because a lot of men have this ego thinking, hey, I can handle it. I'm a man. I'm a grown man. I got this. Dude, cut the crap out. We as men, we're built for consistency. God built us that way. If we're in a situation where the community is not consistent towards us, our mind and body will revolt and it will begin to haunt us. Okay? If you keep yourself as a man in a situation that's inconsistent with your long-term well-being, you are messing yourself up and you will reap the consequence in form of diseases, sicknesses, depression, suicidal tendencies, whatever. Oh, and don't forget demons can get closer to you. Thank God that Heavenly Father built our human bodies in such a way they can recognize inconsistency. We can, especially when it comes to the opposite sex. We can recognize it immediately. We're built like that. So understand this. The male body is highly intelligent, and we as males, we are like calculators. That means without you doing it on purpose, you calculate whether there's consistency towards you or not. This begins at a young age when you're a child growing up. If the adults around you and other people give to you and expect from you in a harmonious way, it's fine. Let's say you have a mother, for example, that's quite demanding and she often screams at you, is very emotionally violent towards you. Let's say one day say, Mom, stop. Or you say it in a more rude way, Mom, cut it out. Mom, shut up. Mom, don't talk like that. When that happens, the community should pick it up and say, oh, hold on, hold on. Little boy, say over there. Say over there. We're going to talk with your mom. And they need to talk to your mom, say, lady, why are you overbearing on your son like that? Or you have issues with your husband or with your boyfriend? Listen, you chose to have sex with a guy, right? Was it your choice to bang with that guy? So you have to deal with whatever issue with the guy. Don't ventilate your sexual anger onto your son. It looks like your boyfriend or your ex-husband or whatever. Hey, behave yourself. That's what communities should do. And they should give comfort to the little boy that was acting out thinking this way stressful. If this happens, you as a man, you grow up with confidence in your community. What happens when your mother is out of line, but she can't say stop towards your mother? Because your father will come and say, don't talk to your mother like that. Slap you and all of that. That happens in many households. Where other people begin to attack you, you should have respect for your mom. Oh, whatever. Listen, when that happens, there's inconsistency psychologically on you. Because why should you be expected to give to the community and give a yes to the community by contributing, collaborating with the community, but the community can just ignore your natural needs whenever they see fit? It doesn't add up. It's inconsistent. Now, if you, while growing up, admit to yourselves inconsistent is wrong, then you're healthy. What happens with a lot of men is they idolize the mother now and a community that protects the mother at all costs, and now they perceive themselves as the issue, even when they were not the issue. And what happens now, they become the issue because now they have this anger that becomes toxic, and now they begin to act it out on other people. And this happens with a lot of guys. That's why you have guys joining gangs. That's why you have guys becoming misogynist against women all day. That's why you have guys become these macho, tough guys, always wanting to control other people. What is all about? There's inconsistency that's not processed. Once you process inconsistency, you can be freely a man again. And a lot of guys need to hear this. Ask yourself the question, could you say stop to your mom when you were growing up? And if you did your father come up and blame you for the dysfunction of his wife, which is your mom, or his girlfriend, which is your mom also? If that happened, your father was a low excuse of a man. He chose this woman, so he has to deal with her bullshit, not you. If he takes out on you, he's a coward and a low excuse of a man. Simple as that. This is how it is. If you as a man could not say stop to your mom, and not only your mom, but also to other people around you while growing up, if you could not negotiate at some point with the adults in the sense that you can say, okay, I need some help, whatever, or stop, it goes too far. If you couldn't do that, you grew up with inconsistencies in your mind that are still haunting you till this day. And you need to face this about yourself. Because if you don't face it, the dysfunction, oh, let me show it to you. The dysfunction is happening whether you want it or not, and demons have access to you, and bad people can take advantage of you too. Simple as that. Now, a guy that admits there's inconsistency, he's upset about it, is healthy in a sense, he admits something is off. He may not be healthy in how he deals with it in the long term, You may end up smoking, drinking, or partying a lot, whatever, but at least you admit something's wrong somewhere. But what if a man refuses to admit something is wrong because he just won't deal with it? That's how you end up with what they call online these days blue pill simps. A blue pill simp is a man who will never admit inconsistency from the community towards them. And because of that, they become inconsistent people themselves. And remember, human males are designed to operate in consistency. So there's both harmony within and harmony without. As within, so without. That's how it works. Men are built to have harmony within, so they can have harmony outside with other people. So they're consistent towards themselves and consistent towards other people. There's harmony. There's this balance between them and the community. That's how males are built. The moment there's no consistency, well, the life source of that man is dried up, and he's not very far away from becoming a portal for demons. Simple as that. And here's the issue. Men like this tend to be the sweetest and most pleasing towards women. We call them simps in popular culture. A simp is a guy who's kind of desperate for female affection, especially female sexual affection. He buys her roses, he sings serenades for her, he's always in her DM talking to her, happens a lot. Some even go so far to send dick pics, all that crap. Don't do that, you can get yourself arrested for that. And by the way, guys, stop sending dick pics, please. It's quite pathetic and it's quite horrible. Keep it to yourself, tell the woman it's worth it to get your dick inside of her. Please. Okay. Because I found out dick pics are still being sent these days. I thought something from 2010. I thought it was over by 2012, but no, it still happens. Okay. Understand this. Men who have found themselves in inconsistency, they're now compensating extremely when it comes to the opposite sex women. And men like this are extremely dangerous, because let me tell you why they're dangerous. That inconsistency that you're operating in is against your nature as a man. It's against your body, against your mind, against how you function, how God designed you as spirit being. That inconsistency generates psychic pollution, both stress in your body as well as pollution in your energy field. And you become like a time bomb. And one day, one small trigger, boom, and you explode. This happens a lot with a lot of guys out there. One time there was a police officer. Was he a police officer? Yes, one time there was a police officer in the Netherlands. He had a woman. I'm not sure if he was legally married, but okay, he had a female partner and he had children living somewhere. The guy's been depressed for a while. What happened one day? He killed his children, killed his wife, killed himself. And the whole community was traumatized and sad. There's nothing to do about it. They're all dead now. They were asking, how could this happen? Well, this guy ignored red flags. He went against his own body. He agreed with inconsistency. And by doing that, he messed up himself and everyone else he would get in contact with. That's what he did. And eventually it backfired on him and he lost his mind and killed those close to them that he loved. I'm not saying that the guy who did this was a bad kind of evil guy, but you know what? Even you don't have to be evil to end up exploding doing bad things. If you remain in a toxic context for too long, you end up malfunctioning in such a way that you end up harming yourself and other people. You don't have to be evil for this to happen. All right? So this same thing that a lot of men do, being desperate for a woman's sexual affection, okay, that a man has a soft spot for women, that's a good thing. I admire that. I praise that. That a man is a bit willing to go far to get sexual affection from a woman, I can live with that too. But dudes, there comes a point your simping becomes criminal. I'm not talking about raping all of that, because only very few men go that far. Very few. I'm talking about it becomes criminal because it becomes demonic. At some point, your desperation for sex with a woman or for sexual attention from a woman becomes demonic. Why? Because if you are not at your best as a man operating in your full sex drive, that means you operate in lack. By doing that, you're neglecting yourself and everyone else around you. That means you don't care about the community either. You're all about getting your sexual ease and being left alone. It's men like you that allow a lot of shit to happen on the earth. Yes, in the live stream, sexual ability, I addressed those wasting women, especially wasting women who have an attitude. I addressed them in the open. I called them what they were. I was quite direct in it. Now I'm addressing the men. Listen, dude. When simping becomes demonic, we have a big problem. Because now you've become a demonic portal that will bring this misfortune around you. You're the type of man I would never want any of my daughters to be involved with. You're the type of man I'm warning women for here on YouTube. You're the type of man that's allowing a lot of child abuse, child molestation, and a lot of economic exploitation to happen because you always have an excuse when society does something wrong. Happy wife, happy life. Well, just obey the rules, all be well. Or people do weird things after reasons. You always have some excuse that you don't have to deal with the inconsistency within and the inconsistency without. Because once you admit inconsistency in the world, you also have to realize you don't mean I grew up in this world. Where's the inconsistency within me? So it should be clear onto you, dudes. If you are a blue pill simp, I'm not happy with you. I don't hate you. I'm not against you. I'm not trying to attack you on that, but I'm not happy with you. You're wasting yourself and your community around you. Oh, and here it comes. A lot of those blue pill simps like you are complaining you don't have a quality woman next to you. Dude, you want a quality woman next to you and you are content with inconsistency within? You're content with being sabotaged sexually, being sabotaged spiritually? What should a quality woman do with you? Can you lead her? Can you motivate her? Can you guide her? Can you help her process her issues? And some of you guys are complaining, why do so many women have issues? Blah blah. Listen, every woman on earth has issues, though to fall of men. And this world is misogynistic. Okay? So of course women everywhere will have some issues to deal with. Some have more issues than others. That's true. But they all do. Oh, here's another thing. Don't think that by only checking a woman's sexual record, that's the only thing you need to do. Because it's not an obsession a lot of you guys have. Even some of you believe in men have this obsession. To look at a woman's sexual record. Listen, let me give you a parable, okay? Let's say you're in Brussels, you go out, and there was a terrorist attack that happened. Let's say a terrorist attack happened in Brussels, just an example. And the police all over the place. And the police looking for suspects. Okay? Let's say you're asked to help the police go into records. And then you encounter a bunch of people without any criminal record. And you say, they can't be it. They have no criminal record, they have no criminal history, so they can't be suspects. Are you correct in your assumption? Just because they have no criminal record means they can't be involved in terrorism or they can't be involved in criminality? Does every criminal have a criminal record? Just two questions. Is your assumption correct? And secondly, does every criminal has a criminal record? Let me know in the live chat. Let me know. If you know where I'm going with this, just answer those two questions first. Answer the questions. Is your assumption correct? Just because you have no criminal record, you can't be involved in harmful stuff. And second question is it true that every criminal has a criminal record? Let me know. Answer the question, please. I'm waiting for your answer in the live chat. Okay, I got one answer. What does the rest say? Okay. Okay, let's go to this. Let's say there are two women. Let's say you're Jack. You're Jack. You're 30 years old, and you want to find a quality woman. You go into town. You come this woman called Lisa. Lisa had five boyfriends till now she's 25. And you think, well, no, she had five boyfriends. Oh my God. All those men went inside of her. Oh Lord, I don't want to get a leftover woman. Get out of here. You discard Lisa completely. You don't even want to talk to her. Then you have Jessica. Jessica never had a man in her life. She never had sex with a man in her life. Ever. And Jessica is just 22. So you think, she's from 5 to 22 without having sex with a man. She's a virgin. Okay, I'm on to her. Okay, you look at the sexual record of them. Okay, Liz had five men. You say, okay, sorry, you're out. Jessica had no man. So you're all excited about Jessica. Question to you. Do you have proof that Jessica is safer to be involved with? Let me know about it. Do you have actual proof based on the sexual record alone that Jessica is safer to be with than Lisa? Do you have the proof for it? Let me know in the live chat. Do you have proof? I asked a question. Please answer. Do you have proof? Okay, let's go further. Lisa had five boyfriends. She really thought each one would last. After her fifth boyfriend, when she was 24, she thought, you know what? I need to be more serious with myself, I need to reflect on myself and do better. And she improved as a woman. She is sexually durable because she has a proper community mindset when it comes to sex. Okay? So, but here's the thing. You didn't even examine that. You just thought, oh, sexual record, more than two sex partners in the past, out. Okay. Jessica, since she was 15 years old, she decided, I don't want any responsibility in life, I just want to escape. The issue is, she was so wild with escaping, drinking, partying, all of that. All the guys thought, nah, I don't want to do you. So Jessica is a hoe, but she's a hoe that never got the chance to do her whoredom. She never got the chance to do her whoredom because all the guys around thought, oh no, you're way too wild, get out of here. Okay? So now you encounter Jessica, 22, never had sex in her life with a man, and you encounter Lisa, who had five men in her lifetime at age 25. Based on the sexual record, you say that Lisa is bad news and Jessica is good news. But you haven't done the research, because if you would have actually investigated Jessica, you would realize this woman is out of her mind. She's wild. She's unstable. And guess what? You date her, marry her, have sex with her, and you think, oh, I married a virgin, I'm fine. Listen, she is messed up in the head. She's a hoe that never got the chance to do her whoredom. What do you think is going to happen after she marries you? She's going to do a whoredom then. And later you're in a divorce, or later you have children, you're raising children aren't yours because you had sex with another guy and give birth to their children. You thought were your children, which also happens. Well, if you would have considered Lisa better, you realize, you know what? Lisa is more constructive. With Lisa, I can talk better. So, despite her sexual past, Lisa is still a quality woman in the long run if she's willing to be consistent and comply with justice. And Lisa is. I'm not saying the sexual record of a woman doesn't matter at all. I'm saying it's not the only thing you should look at. And a lot of you guys are obsessed with the sexual record of a woman. I'm not saying it doesn't matter. Of course it does matter, but it's not the only thing, just one part of it. Listen, if someone is fucked up in the head and they're neglectful, whether they have sex in their life or not, doesn't matter, they're still neglectful. If you deal with a neglectful individual, they will neglect you. So guys, don't be so obsessed with this virginity thing because listen, whether a woman is still a virgin or she has sex with 200 men, if she is neglectful, she's neglectful. The amount of sex partners may reveal that she's neglectful. If she's a hoe hoeing around, just having sex all over the place, she's neglecting herself and her sexual activity reveal that. So she has a high body count. But you also have women who are being treated bad over and over again. So they also have a high body count, but not because they're holding around, just because they keep encountering bad men because they're not healed. So just the body count alone should not be an indicator whether a woman is stable or not. Now, if it's obvious of the body count and her behavior is unstable, okay, that's proof. But don't just look at the sex record alone. All right? So understand this. A lot of guys want to find a woman that had never had issues in her life. I'm sorry, the only woman in history that never had issues when she came into the world as a grown woman was Eve, that came right from the hand of God. Any other woman came out of another woman, and any other woman was born in sin. So any woman on the earth has issues you need to process. Some have more, some have less. So guys, cut this shit out. Looking for a woman without issues. Are you kidding me? Really? Just think, please. Okay? So, what I'm saying is, a lot of men embrace inconsistency and they turn into time bombs. And such men neglect themselves and the community. But they think that the good guy society gives them a pat on the back. No, I'm telling you, dude, you're not in your right mind. You're not of good quality. I'm not saying you're evil, but you're not of good quality. You need to be delivered. Simple as that. And here's another thing. The West has taught women that it's okay to neglect yourself sexually because you can still get a great man later in life anyway. I addressed it before in another live stream. I'm not going to do that again. I was quite passionate live stream. Now address the men. Dude, listen. How do you think you can how do you think you get away being inconsistent with yourself? Really? I mean, you can go on Reddit, you can go on YouTube, you can go something on Facebook, Instagram. A lot of guys have those gurus they're following. A lot of guys are express their opinions and their frustrations. Okay, nothing wrong with that. I'm an anthropologist. I look into that. But when I read and hear what you guys are saying, I often have a tendency to faint. I'm thinking, what? Some guys say things as, "My woman is independent. She's a boss. She can do anything. She doesn't need a man." Hold on, dude. Hold on. Chill out. You're saying my woman is independent, which is a hoax. No human being is independent. Only God is independent. No human being is. So you're actually idolizing the woman you're sleeping with, which is idolatry. So you say she's a boss. Boss means you call her Lord. We only have one Lord. Christ is our sex owner. So actually, you're saying the woman is owning you sexually. Okay, that's a matter of slavery. Then you say she can do anything. She doesn't need a man. So you're attacking your own relevancy in her life. Dude, do you even hear what yourself talking? Do you even hear how you contradict yourself? You're undermining your own relevancy in her life. What the heck are you doing? Okay. Mm-hmm. So that's there are guys saying things as, well, um, they say things as, it's very hard to find a good woman. Well, it's very hard to even notice good women if you are accursed. Read the book of Jeremiah. I believe it's Jeremiah chapter 17. I'm not sure it's verse 17. You can look it up for yourself. God says, "Cursed is the man who relies on man and makes arm to his flesh, whose heart departs from the Lord. He'll be like a dry bush in a desert, who doesn't notice something good comes." In the book of Proverbs, it said, "Whoever finds a wife finds something good and receives favor from the Lord." So finding a woman to be with you in long term sexually, have a wife, that's a good thing, a favor from God, a good thing. But God also says, if your mind is not centered on Him, if your mind departs, if you're not Christ centered, it means your heart departs from the Lord. It means you look up to other human males for your masculinity. If that's you, dude, I'm sorry, but you are accursed. I guarantee you, you won't even notice if there are 1,000 quality women around you. God can put 1,000 quality women around you and you won't notice any of them because your mind is not right to process and receive a good woman because you're not operating your masculinity. That's why. It's also written in the book of Jeremiah, same chapter. Blessed is the man whose trust is the Most High. He'll be like how to say again? I know, but anyway, it's going to be he's compared to, I believe, a palm tree or something like that, and it says he will not notice when something bad comes. Here's the issue: men that operate in God's blueprint, yes, they do encounter fucked up women here and there, but in general, most of the fucked up women don't even notice they're around because they're so focused on how can they contribute to the good of the community. You can't be a curse. What makes you a curse as a man? If you're sexually dysfunctional and you don't want to admit it. Remember, sexual dysfunction don't have to do with actually having intercourse. I'm not talking about that. If you're not operating God's blueprint of sex, that means you're sexually dysfunctional. If you don't admit this and admit I need to be better, you are accursed because you keep yourself in dysfunction, you keep yourself in harm's way, and you harm yourself and others. You are accursed. You're like a dry desert and a cold graveyard. That's how you are. No woman should even consider being with you, for real. Because anyone gets involved with you gets yourself in trouble. You are becoming a portal for demons. That's what you're becoming. Simple as that. So, dude, if you're like this, don't come to my channel asking Rashid, can you help? Can you teach me where I can find good women? I want to ask you, dude, are you a quality man operating God's blueprint? If you're not, why are you asking me for women? Am I a pimp? You're coming to me to give you easy sex? It doesn't work like that, dude. No, it doesn't work like that. Or you may have a guy come say, Rashid, I've been praying. I want her to be 19, 20 years old, good quality, and I just don't want her to complain all that. I'm thinking, dude, you're over 40. When you were younger, you used to smash and bash women, hit and run, and all that. Pumping and dumping, whatever you want to call it. You used to sleep around all over the place, wasting your masculinity, hurting a lot of women, just because you just wanted quick sex. You did all of that. You even went after prostitutes. You were standing in line to have sex with a street hoe over there who was like the goddess in the nightclubs. You waste yourself with working too much from 9 to 5, exhaust yourself too. So you waste yourself completely. And now you're in your 40s declining. Now you want to come and say, Rashid, can you pray for me to find a good quality woman? She has to be 9 years old, good looking, and all that. I'm thinking, dude, you're wasted. What can you offer her? Why so entitled? Dude, humble yourself, please. For real. Sometimes I get those weird messages in my email. I'm thinking, whoa, really? But anyway, what I'm pointing out is inconsistency in human males is lethal. It shouldn't exist. Unfortunately, the world itself is inconsistent, and it teaches men if they get along with society's inconsistency, this will go well with them. And I can guarantee you it will never work out well for you if you do that. Ever. It won't. And that's why a lot of dudes like you guys, blue pill simps, you end up in prison because you explode on a woman because she hurt your feelings, or you end up losing because the woman refused to have sex with you. Dude, there are more women on the earth. She's not the only one with a vagina. She's not the only one looking good. In many places, more women alive than men. So women outnumber men in most places. So you have an advantage in that. You have options enough. But anyway, that's why a lot of you guys end up in domestic violence, sometimes even killing the woman, or your children, or other people, or you become the jealous ex-boyfriend who can't let go. You end up killing the new boyfriend she's involved with. How come that you guys end up like that? Because you embrace inconsistency. You did. You went against your own masculinity. And you expect things to work out. Of course, it's not going to work out, dude. It cannot. And some of you men need to stop acting like spoiled hoes, please. Stop acting like spoiled sluts. What I mean is, don't just get along with every inconsistency of society, including church, and then bitch complain because nothing works out and now you want compensation from everyone else. Huh? Did you examine what people expected from you? Did you examine all those things? Did you examine this thing called privacy, private lives, personal space? Or did you examine all those narcissistic things? Did you do any deep research? Did you? No, you didn't. Stop acting like sports sluts, please, guys. It doesn't suit you well. Listen, people say, shit, why are you talking like this? Listen, I'm straight up, straight on the man too. Sexual health is of utmost importance for any human community. So especially as men, you can't afford to be sexually messed up. You can't afford to neglect your life source, which is your sex drive is your life source as a man. You can't afford to neglect that. But a lot of men do. Just get approval from society so you can have an easier life. Listen, if you get along in society and you end up neglecting your own sex drive, you mean your own life source as a man, yes, you will be embraced by society. You have easier circumstances, but I can guarantee you, in the long run, you will decline, and the minute you turn to time bombs, harming everyone else. I know there are a lot of fucked up, crazy, stupid women out there doing stupid things towards men. I know it. I address them also. I also address those type of women. Don't come to my live streams and my channel with your toxic pollution. I already addressed those women in depth. I already did that. I'm gonna do it again. Now I'm addressing you guys. Why are you still going after those females if you can keep complaining about them? That shows you how inconsistent you are. If she's bad news, why do you keep longing for the bad news? Why do you complain that bad news though? If she's bad news should make you uncomfortable. That's why you stay away from bad news. You guys are attached to bad news. What the heck? Listen. When simping becomes cooning, we have a problem. What is cooning? Cooning is a term that's used in the black community in the United States. It simply means someone that betrays his own people just get advantages in life. Similar to a Judas figure, but in a more derogatory way. When you as a man, when you simp after a woman, I don't agree with that. But if you simp after a woman, I can't stop you. But the moment your simping becomes deep rooted, now it turns into a demonic activity. And listen to me, dude. If you're inconsistent like this, you're guaranteed to get creepy women attached to you. And you won't even notice how creepy she is. A lot of you guys, you wake up, you see a chick, you think, oh man, she looks fine, nice ass, nice boobs, all that. You get so wild. I know, I'm a man myself. You get her number, you meet up with her, you end up sexing her, and then you wake up next to her after having sex with her. She looks at you and you think, what the fuck is this? You get terrified. Why did you get terrified before? Because listen, before you shut down your discernment, you ignored your warning signals in your body, in your mind, you just want to do it. Well, you got your fun, you did it. Now that you woke up next to her, all your warning signals are on. And look at this. She is a succubus. She is a drainer. She is creepy. She may even be demon possessed. But now you woke up next to a wasted woman that is likely demon possessed or was a portal for demons. And now you have to live with the fact you did that. Congratulations, Jude. Congratulations. You got what you wanted. You ignored every warning signal and every natural common sense just to have your way. I hope it was worth it. It's not. And listen, I'm warning all the women right now. Blue pill simps, not all of them, but most of them, operate as semi-demonic creatures. If you have sex with a guy like this, or you are involved with him emotionally, you're dealing with a semi-demonic creature. You're dealing with a creature that is wasting himself and his own species, it means the community, and who just wants to leech off of you sexually to get comfort. That is what you're dealing with, lady. Whether he's your husband, boyfriend, whatever title you give him, that's what you're dealing with. So, ladies, please stop getting involved with these demonic portals and then complain why it's working out. Duh, you're with a demonic portal. Mhm. All right. I don't want to say this, but a lot of men today, especially the Western worlds, are demonic portals because they submit completely to this 9 to 5 bondage, which dries up their life source, which is their sex drive, and they end up like anti-shells of men, end up like walking corpses, they end up like zombies, and demons have understood them. And they're completely fine with it. And then they have the audacity to insist on a quality woman. Lord have mercy. Dude, why would a woman of quality waste her life and her time and her femininity on a man who's okay being the bitch of another man? If you're okay with being exploited for life by society, just to be a law-abiding citizen, listen, I don't encourage you to break the law and all that. I'm saying you don't have to tolerate societal exploitation. If you are okay with being exploited by society and to be drained in your life source, what can you offer a woman? Why should you waste her time, effort, and femininity on you? You're okay being the bitch of the corporation or of society. So why should she want to be involved with a bitch? Why should she be? Learn to value yourself as a man, operate your masculinity, agree with Christ, and cut the crap out, please. Really. Someone asked, can you heal demonic portal? Listen, if a man is so neglectful towards himself, he has to change and comply with justice, then he can get better. You can't heal him. You can push him towards healing, but he has to want to be better himself. Listen, I love the human species for whom Christ died and rose again. I love our species, but I can't be involved with everyone from our species. I addressed a lot of the mess of women already. Now I'm addressing the mess of men. Dudes, a lot of you are messed up. But listen, if you're a man watching this and you're not messed up, you're in agreement with Christ, this doesn't apply to you. Just rejoice that you're doing God's will and motivate other men to do that too. But I need to address those wasteful men that come to my channel. Stop sending me messages complaining and bitching. Stop acting like a spoiled slut, please. And start obeying the Heavenly Father, the ultimate man. The Heavenly Father is the man. He's the ultimate man. Start obeying him, please. That's what I'm telling you to do. All right? Seriously. So, guys, if you are not willing to recognize the ultimate man, God Himself, as your owner, don't waste my time and efforts. Don't waste my efforts, I mean, by asking me to pray for you, to assist you, to fellowship you, whatever. Listen, I want you to obey Christ. Okay? Because I do not want fellowship with portals. You hear me? I do not. Nope, I do not. Absolutely not. If you're a portal, go there with other portals. Have your pity party over there. Have your Jezebels over there. Do that. Don't come over here, please. Don't. Listen, semen retention is a good thing you can do to discipline yourself, to become a better man. I admire you doing that. But semen retention should not be something for your whole life. It should be something for a season, and then you end up investing yourself in a proper quality woman. And our quality women on the earth, here's the thing, are the men willing to become quality men too? Mm-hmm. Semen retention is a good thing you can do, but it shouldn't be something you do your whole life. Get out of hand. It should be a tool you use temporarily to improve and then to benefit your community. That's why you do semen retention. But I already explained that in another live stream already. Okay, let me show it to you one more time. Okay, hold on. Let me see. Yep. This is how every woman should be. This is how every man should be, according to God's plan. This is how many women are, how many men are. We don't endorse anyone being like this. We want all of us to be according to God's design. We want all of you to be detached from the world of sex magic and operating God's blueprint. All right? So listen, if you have daughters, teach your daughters these things, okay? Men are calculators. We are. That means we have the obligation towards ourselves and to other people to only be in consistent situations that will benefit our long-term well-being. Because if we value our own long-term well-being, we automatically also value the well-being of other people. A man that's okay being violated by society just to be left alone, he becomes a portal eventually. And I'm sorry, lady, if you have sex with a portal, you are polluting your vagina, you're polluting your mind, you're wasting yourself with him too. Don't do that. Rashid, but I can pray for him and he may change. Listen, you're not guaranteed he will change. You're not. If he changes for the better, good on him, good for the community. But what if he doesn't change? You need to change and become a better woman and move on. All right? Okay. What else do I have to say over here? Let me see. Again, if you're willing to go far to get a woman or to be with a woman, fine. Just don't become a coon, please. I don't care about you're Chinese. I don't care about you're Arab or you're Brazilian or I don't care what your ethnicity or race or background is. Cooning is not cool. Cooning is an embarrassment. Don't sacrifice well-being for your community just to get ease. That's pathetic. That's horrible. I know society will praise for that in some areas, but I'm not society. I belong to the kingdom of God. I'm telling you, follow God's blueprint. You will never lack. Uh, you will never have misfortune haunting you. You won't have any of that when you do God's blueprint. All right. So, are there any questions about this topic? Please ask them right now. Are there any questions? Let me know right now. I have my food that I've ordered arriving soon, so that's why I can't stay too long in the live stream. But I decided I'm going to do this live stream for you, give you the chance to ask questions also. And listen, I don't make this live stream to knock down on you. If you're a man watching this and I hurt your feelings, listen. I'm glad your feelings were hurt because now you realize something's wrong with you and you can improve, and I want you to improve. If you watch this live stream and you got upset or your feelings hurt, listen, I didn't intend to hurt your feelings, but now that it happened, it's a warm signal for you. Get better. And it's worth to get better. So get better, man. You can do better, bro. Come on. Drop the porn, drop the bitches, drop working hard and all that crap. Obey God's blueprint, please. Forget the religious excitement from church. Also, do God's blueprint. And that quality woman, you don't even have to chase her. She'll just be there. You just notice her over there. All right? Okay. Are there any questions about this topic? Let me know, please. Someone asked, Diane asked, my sons were part of this environment. Mom controlling, dad simping. How can I help my son's recovery? Be a feminine woman. Pray for your sons. Pray for godly and feminine women to surround your sons. And pray for male role models to surround them. And if you want, refer them to my videos also. My videos and lives are not the answer. They may assist in the answer. Okay? The answer is Christ. So be a feminine mother towards them. Decree declare for them, decree that godly fed women will surround them, that they have real male role models around them. And if you want, send them my videos and live streams, please. Thank you. Listen, being consistent does not mean being blunt and an asshole. Being consistent simply means listen, this situation is not beneficial to my long term well being. This situation is not a good one. You know what? Let me calm down and find a way to either improve the situation or I have to get out of it, can't improve it. Simple as that. That's what being consistent means. Consistent does not mean, oh, whatever I feel or think, I just throw it out and whatever people think is their business. No. You have to consider other people's feelings and how you affect other people with your words and your actions. Absolutely. Being consistent means, okay, I'm willing to go far for my community, but is my community willing to go far for me too? That's what being consistent means. Being consistent is quite easy, actually. It's natural. Be consistent. It may not feel good in the beginning. You may not be praised for it, but it will benefit you. Being consistent does not mean you disregard other people's feelings, just saying what you think. No. Being blunt and direct is not being consistent. That's being an asshole, being narcissistic, and will get you in trouble. Being honest simply means you admit yourself whether something is a good situation or not, and you motivate yourself to make the best out of it. Either you get out of a bad situation, if you can't improve it, and then you decide what you want to contribute to a better situation. So honesty does not mean just say whatever you think, whatever you feel. It simply means you're consistent with considering your own well-being and well-being of others in the long run. That's it. Mm-hmm. All right. No other questions? All right. Well, I'm going to do some phone fellowship now, waiting for my food to arrive. Thank you all for being here. Guys, agree with Christ, please. He's Lord. Ladies, avoid portals, please. Please avoid them. And, oh yeah, enjoy the Shabbat also, because it's Saturday. And I'll see you next time. God is good all